Welcome to another episode of Painfully Fabulous. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Christine. We are CRPS warriors and here to remind you
When life is painful, you can still be fabulous.
Hey everyone, we're back. It's been a while, but we're back. We have a lot to catch up on too.
Right.
So, summer's over.
Yes, it went way too short for me.
I know, but with the heat wave.
See,
go ahead.
For me, the heat, I don't like the humidity. You're correct. And there is a heat wave. I'm lucky enough to have AC. I know you don't. So there's a difference there, but I just can't do the cold and winter, and I prefer the heat. So
Okay, then let's jump right to that then. During the heat wave that we had, because it was the hottest summer yet, I think, for everybody. You weren't bothered at all. You didn't find your symptoms were overwhelming or anything like that. You just soaked it up and loved it.
So see, I might be jumping ahead a bit here, but I will just mention, because I had the high dose ketamine infusion, my symptoms weren't as bad, right? And yes, on certain days where the humidity was crazy, I could feel it again. But then I just stayed in the AC and went outside for a few minutes. That's my daily thing, right? I stay in because the AC gets too cold, then I go out. So, and back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, the summer just, for me, as long as the sun's shining and it's warm, I can't complain.
No, you're right. I loved it too, but without the air conditioning, it was hard. And we got kind of tropical here in Canada this year. I don't know what happened with that.
No.
But let's jump back then, because the most important thing that I did want to talk about today is your infusion. How are you feeling?
I am, so my CRPS pain is down to a 0.
Yeah.
I know. And now I have had flare-ups about a 2 or 3 on the pain scale, but as we all know, that's like minimal.
Yeah.
And I find it's just if weather, like today it's cloudy and rainy, and that affects it still, and humidity, and also with doing physio and stuff, if I push too far, and I learned a really good way to not push too far from the physiotherapist I was seeing.
Do share.
Yeah, she calls it green light, yellow light, red light, or the opposite: red light, green light, yellow. So red light is if you've done your physio or worked out and you're sore that day and you're sore the next day, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Yellow light is if you do your physio or workout, whatever you're doing, and you're sore that night, but when you wake up the next day, you're okay. So that's a medium. And obviously the green light is if you're not sore at all, you're not doing enough, right? So I just thought the red light, green light, or red light, yellow light, green light was a great way to look at it.
I'm sorry, but the green light thing that you just pointed out too, that's incredible. Green light, it doesn't mean everything's easy. What you said is awesome. It means you're not doing enough.
Right. Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
you have to do more than what you can tolerate, or you'll never get further along, right?
my
Yeah.
physiotherapist used to say, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And I was like, oh, that's real comforting. Thanks. But it does. It makes you want to push just a little bit harder. Not to the red light, though. I like that.
Yeah. So I thought that was a great way to explain it for myself, because I was always like, oh, I was in so much pain. Is this worth it? Am I doing too much? And then obviously my symptoms would come back as a little bit of a flare. So I'm like, I don't want it to come back. What am I doing? And then she said, that's okay, just as long as it's not happening the next day. So
I like that. I like that. Now with your infusion, because you get 5 days, you go in for 5 different days. I want to talk about that in its whole video. I want to talk about your experience, like what it's like you going in, how you prepare for it, maybe a bit about your recovery too. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
for sure. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Maybe you have some tips for people.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if you had a 5-day infusion, how long was your recovery time? Like how long did you have to kind of step away from the world and
Okay. So after the 5-day infusion itself, and I return home, it takes me now we're all different. So it takes me about 5 days. I try and stay away from screen time, TV, phones, everything for about 5 days. I mean, minimally, use it, but I'm not on it all the time. And it takes me that long to feel better. Like my head my head clears and I feel better after about the 5th day.
Nice. Okay.
Do you live with chronic pain?
Do you want to raise chronic pain awareness?
The Conquer CRPS merch store has you covered.
Chronic Pain Collection features hoodies, tank tops, t-shirts, tumblers, and more.
So check it out at the official Conquer CRPS store.
Link in the description box below. So that alone explains a little bit of our time away. We've been away a little bit this summer. Although we've been busy, we haven't been as faithful to our painfully fabulous audience as we'd like, right?
Yeah.
I just got to say real quick on my own, because I edit and I write our scripts and I try to record them. My summer has sucked. This has possibly been the worst summer of my life. I lost my job of almost 11 years. The man who raised me is slowly passing away, 45 minutes away from me. And I have never felt so angry about being disabled, about living with an invisible illness. It's hard. It's been really hard. So a lot of my energy has been spent trying to job hunt as a cripple. And again, that's not offensive for anyone. It's just my right way of looking at it. It's hard. I don't know how anybody does it. So if anybody has any tips or tricks on how to job hunt as a disabled person or what you can do at home, please let us know in the comment below, because the struggle is real.
Oh yeah, especially in this economy.
Yeah. And Christine, you have been my rock and roll through this hard time. I've been so grateful for your patience and your friendship through all of this.
Thank you. It goes both ways.
Well, I mean, we both had a crazy busy summer, but we managed to do some incredible things. Which brings me to my next point. Christine, what were you doing on August 24th?
Whoa, that was so exciting. I met with the team research for the Walk to Conquer CRPS, and we did our walk. It was amazing just to be able to get together and talk to them and participate together. So it was nice. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Good. I am so glad that you traveled to go see them. I'm so happy you guys got to meet for that. The wave of orange in those pictures was so freaking cool. And the smile.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to be able, and there was other people there that you could talk to and learn their stories, and it was nice. It was nice to meet others, right, that can understand what we're going through, be empathetic to what we're going through, because you don't see that in a lot of researchers or doctors usually, but this team is amazing.
They're very committed. They're very committed. And now you weren't alone on August 24th. We had CRPS warriors and their teams or by themselves around the world, all walking and moving on the same weekend. Special shout out to Team CRPS Skull, Sean, and to Team Aaron Adams with Pampered Chef, because all together, we all raised, I think it's $3,700.
That's awesome. Yeah.
For CRPS warriors.
Yes, and that's the thing we really got to mention too, is that every little penny counts, and it's going directly to CRPS patients. It's not going to research. It's not going to, any medical equipment or anything like that. It's going to CRPS warriors that may participate.
And it's not going to us either. It's going to CRPS warriors who are strictly participating in this research project, because it's like a 9-week research project. They have to travel to so many appointments, and it's not feasible. I couldn't imagine I have a hard time getting to one appointment every 2 months. I couldn't imagine multiple appointments in 9 weeks. So thank you to everybody, because they wouldn't be able to participate if it wasn't for you.
Oh, absolutely. Right. And we are hopeful that someday a treatment can be available to everybody in Canada.
So thank you again to everybody from the walk. We have so much on the go though, still behind the scenes, because we're planning for November. We have a lot coming up. We sent off 6 different letters for the premiers of 6 different provinces here in Canada to officially proclaim November as CRPS Awareness Month. We're working on social media campaigns. We're working on Painfully Fabulous campaigns. And there might be something exciting for our Painfully Fabulous audience to pay attention to in November.
And then we have to also remember that I will be leaving again in December to go to Curacao for 3 months. So I do try to help Kristen as much as possible, but the internet just sometimes doesn't agree with us. So kudos to you, Kristen. You may be doing more stuff on your own on Painfully Fabulous.
Fine. We're working on stocking things. Stocking.
Yes.
We're working on accumulating some episodes on the back end here, so I have some stuff to work on.
But you may have a few micro lessons or something that Kristen, you might just hear Kristen's voice. But remember, I'm still around.
It's still Painfully Fabulous, guys.
Exactly.
And we might have some guests coming on too in the upcoming year.
Yes.
Lots of fun things to look forward to, because again, we've been working really hard behind the scenes here on things that you guys don't get to see, because we're not just a social media campaign. I mean, we're so much more than that. Speaking of, real quick, Christine, why don't you just get real close to the camera for a second, show everybody your glasses.
Can you see them? Or is it bad light?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Conquer CRPS logo. Right? Oh, it looks good. Right there.
Yeah.
All right. I think we might have covered everything that we were hoping to in today's chat. So
okay.
Have a good week, everybody.
Oh, yes. And
thanks for joining us.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or want to see us cover anything, put it in the comments below, because we'd love to hear from you and get to know you a little bit better. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell below to get notified of our upcoming episodes, and stay painfully fabulous.
Bing!